Hello traders, my name is Tomasz Wiśniewski. I'm a Chief Analyst in Alpari Research and Analysis, and this is Daily Analytical Report. Let's start as always with the calendar, and the calendar is pretty busy today. We started with the inflation in Japan, which came better than expectations, and but industrial production came terrible. The number is absolutely terrible, as you can see, minus 4.6 instead of minus 0.6. What we are still waiting for is GDP, gross domestic product from United States, and this number can be considered as the most important number on a Friday. As it is the last day of this week, we can check the calendar for the next week, so you can see that Monday is rather empty. CPE, PCE, personal consumption expenditure from US is the most important data. On Tuesday, GDP from Eurozone and inflation from Germany. On Wednesday, job data from New Zealand, and also we have ISM PMIs and interest rate decision statement conference from US. So this will be the most important day next week on the forex market. On Thursday, PMIs from China, interest rate decision, statement, speech, press conference from the Bank of England, and Friday surprisingly quiet. But I don't think let's all right here. Here, okay, this is this week. Let's do like this. Yes, I knew that something is wrong, so on Friday we didn't get whole calendar. On Friday, what else we got is inflation from Eurozone and average hourly earnings from US and ISM non-manufacturing PMI. So next week, pretty busy for the forex traders. What is happening on the market right now is that we finally do have a correction on the market. So yesterday, if you will check our trading sniper videos, daily analytical report, we mentioned that the bullish correction, that the correction against the dollar is very, very possible and probable. And this is what is happening right now. It does not mean that we change the sentiment towards those instruments. No, we do not. But the thing is that every strong movement at some point gets a correction, and this is this correction. And no surprise here, right? Every bigger movement needs a correction, and finally it came. We thought that it will come yesterday, but it is coming today. So what is happening on euro dollar? We had this week we had this breakout of the major horizontal support. This is a major sell signal. Price breaking this support is a proper sell signal. Now what we are witnessing is the typical price action movement. So broken support is being tested. Well, most probably will be tested as a resistance. So it's nothing serious here, business as usual. Sell signal stays intact in the midterm and long term. In the short term, we do have a small buy signal, but I wouldn't jump on it. It's against the trend and it's highly speculative, very, very risky. But from the price action point of view, what I'm seeing here is a chance for the price to get to the yellow resistance. And the yellow resistance, we should see a bounce and a further drop. On dollar index, we are having a similar situation. So again, most of the dollar index is euro dollar, So there we have a correction. Here we do have a correction as well. Here on dollar index we have a horizontal resistance. Price is breaking the horizontal resistance. After the breakout of the horizontal resistance, we do have a reversal. Most probably the price will test this horizontal line as a closest support, and most probably from this point we'll have a bounce and a further upswing. Australian dollar to American dollar. Here also we do have an upswing, and this is what we were expecting yesterday, even when the price was pushing lower. Just the fact that this horizontal support was pretty strong, and this H4 candle was pretty strong. Here we are maybe not hoping, but I was anticipating a reversal. This happened with a beautiful inverse head and shoulder pattern here, left shoulder, head and right shoulder, and now we do have a short-term buy signal, and the price should aim the combination of the dynamic resistance and a horizontal resistance. So here this is my target for this upswing. From this point the price should reverse. Let's check how the Fibos look like here, because this can be interesting. Yes, it's on 38.2 Fibonacci. I would love to see an upswing towards here and then a bounce. That a bounce from the yellow area would be a very, very nice sell signal. Now gold. Gold is one of those instruments where the short-term correction of the dollar, because dollar is weaker now, so gold is stronger. Short-term correction of the dollar can be something bigger than just the correction, but can be a start of a reversal. What is happening here is a head and shoulder pattern, left shoulder, head and a right shoulder. Then we broke those two supports, first one being the neckline of this head and shoulder pattern, and the second one is the lower line of the symmetric triangle pattern. After the breakout, the price creates double bottom formation, and what the price did is the breakout of the horizontal resistance of this double bottom formation, so a neckline of this double bottom formation. That's today's upswing is even more surprising if we look at this, which I consider a false breakout. Usually after this the price should decline, but the price did not decline. The price is pushing higher. The blue area seems broken. Now the last resistance is the black line, and the price closing a day and a whole week above the blue line will be a strong buy signal, because we need to remember the fact that today we are fighting for the weekly candlestick to close. Like for example, this shooting star on gold 2 weeks ago was a strong sell signal. This hammer on a daily chart, on a weekly chart, can be a strong signal, a strong buy signal for gold too. But what we need for this is the price closing at least above the blue area. It would be the best for the buyers if the price closed above the blue and the black resistance. American dollar to Swiss franc. Here the upswing stopped. It does not mean that the buyers evaporated from the market. It does not mean that. It means that they are ready for a correction, and the correction can start soon. Maybe correction starts now as we speak. The correction wouldn't be something special. It would be just a natural movement. It will be just a typical price action movement of the price going lower after a strong rise. Because let's look at this. Since the mid of March, the price went up 330 pips without any correction whatsoever. So at least small correction would be nice, and we have a good opportunity for that, because most recently the price broke two important resistances. First one is a dynamic resistance here, and second one is a horizontal resistance here. So after the breakout of those two, it would be nice for the price to test those two as a closest support. Now New Zealand dollar to Canadian dollar. Here we do have a very promising buy signal. We had a strong sell here. You all remember this. Sell came from the fact that the price made a bearish engulfing, bearish candlestick engulfing pattern, and we had a false breakout above the horizontal resistance. We had a false breakout above the dynamic resistance, and after this the price declined. And the major long-term sell signal would be triggered when the price would break close the wick below the blue line. Why? Because the blue line is the neckline of the double top formation here. So a first top, second top, and that would be a good occasion to sell. And the price did not close below. Instead of this, the price created a hammer on a weekly chart. This is beautiful, and this can be considered as a major defense of this line and a proper buy signal aiming at least orange horizontal resistance, which for me is the closest target for this formation. Now crude oil is reversing. Luckily, I told you that my car drinks a lot of fuel and I don't like the recent price on the petrol station, but it does not mean that we are back in the bear market. It does not mean that at all. That's just a correction still, even after the breakout of the horizontal support here. We are aiming for the upper line of the channel up formation, which we broke here. Even the breakout of this line will not change much. I think that as long as we stay above this line, we are in a buy territory on oil. Euro to Russian ruble still waiting for the breakout of the dynamic resistance and a horizontal resistance. Price closing a day or a week above those two will be a proper signal to go long. Now American dollar to Russian ruble, price closing a day and a week above the orange horizontal resistance will be a proper signal to go long. Now DAX still very high, still promising. I stay away from the from the indexes, from the stock markets, because for me they are extremely overbought and I'm not the fan of buying on tops. I love to buy in uptrends, but after bearish corrections, and I love to sell in downtrends after bullish corrections. This is my approach for trading. American dollar to Russian ruble here, this was a false breakout indeed from the flag, and now traders are paying for jumping into this. We can consider this as resistance. There is a sell signal, and well, yes, there is a negative signal for the American dollar to Japanese yen. We broke the horizontal support, we broke the dynamic support. Now we are testing those two lines as close as resistances, and the outlook on those two instruments is negative. Now New Zealand dollar to American dollar, here we do have a correction as well. V-shape reversal, that can be pretty dangerous. V-shape reversals are usually very strong. I think yes, 38.2 is always a fair target for any instrument, so the price can break this, bounce, break, and get to this resistance. I think this can happen. This type of movement is probable. American dollar to Australian dollar to Swiss franc is having a correction as well, but the thing is that as long as we stay below the red line, the sentiment is still negative. Red line is still should be still respected, but there is no sell signal. As long as we stay below, there is a negative sentiment, but there is no signal. Now Bitcoin with a very volatile reversal, maybe not that volatile as this upswing, but we can see that a bit of steam here. buyers are losing a bit of momentum. I thought that the price would get to $6,000. Well, still have a chance. There is still a chance. The chance for this is a bit smaller right now, but there is still a chance for this movement. And cable is also having a correction. So as you can see, most of the instruments are in a correction mode. We shouldn't be surprised, as the last 2 weeks we witnessed rather directional movements. It would be the best for the price to test this line, and this line is a combination of the horizontal resistance and the dynamic resistance. Price, it would be nice from the price action point of view, it would be nice to see the price aiming this area and then bouncing and going lower. So this is it, guys. This is the market right now. So the market is in a correction mode, which is good because correction gives you an opportunity to enter the market with the trend, but buying or selling with the better price. So corrections are good for those who are late. So guys, thanks very much for attending the daily analytical report. I hope you enjoyed this. It's Friday, so I would like to wish you a great weekend ahead of you. Don't think about the forex market too much. Let's start trading on the forex market on Monday, Tuesday, and we will be there with you, and we will try to help you in your forex journey. Thanks very much again, and goodbye.